Let's get started. If you've ever thought of unleashing your full potential, then you're at the right place at the right time. On this beautiful summer evening, Dr. Chinmay Pandya, in his high-energy talk, is going to challenge you to commit to an unrelenting pursuit of human excellence. What's so exciting about this topic of human excellence coming from Chinmay Pai? Well, first things first, he grew up in a very special place in India called Shantigunj, which is a spiritual academy. He grew up under the nurturing wings of people who are perhaps the greatest exemplars of human excellence in contemporary history I know of. They are the great Acharya Shri Ram Sharma and Mata Bhagwati Devi Sharma, the founders of AWGP. So Chinmay Pai was privileged to have an up-close and personal encounter with the very embodiments of human excellence. In such a special setting, Dr. Chinmay grew an insight into the deepest depths of human mind and consciousness, which turned himself into a rejuvenator, a healer, and transformer from remaining just yet another physician. For sure, he's a superb physician, a psychiatrist by training, but with a difference, as he knows not only how the remedy for brain malfunction, but also he can help treat the deep core of being where emotions surge and which is also the seat of consciousness. Dr. Chinmayji has extensively toured around the globe and organized key programs to promote the unique spiritual aspects of Indian culture on a scientific foundation. Thus, he is able to bring unique perspectives from the Western as well as Indian worldviews that he can ingeniously apply to solve the burning issues of modern global citizenry in today's fast-changing and troubled world. Through the application of his sharp intellect and also by engaging in intense sadhana, Dr. Chinmayji has touched and transformed many lives. He assumed the role of the ambassador at large for Dev Sanskriti, or the divine culture. He left as a consultant in West London Hospital Trust in London and joined Dev Sanskriti University's leadership team as Pro-Vice Chancellor. Dr. Chinmayji is a mentor and guiding light for hundreds of teenagers and young adults who are currently enrolled in this fully residential campus of the DSVV and off-campus too. It's my pleasure and privilege to have this honor of introducing such an amazing and inspiring youth icon. He is a prolific writer, an awesome speaker, a superb communicator who is effortlessly interweaving the most complicated scientific, spiritual, and philosophical themes. Tonight, in his thought-provoking speech, you will encounter the defining concepts, conviction, dedication, passion, and the magic of human spirit to propel you on the path of limitless possibilities. So I congratulate you for having chosen to spend your evening with Dr. Chinmay Pandya. And now, I invite him to share his excellent talk on human excellence. Once again, welcome him with a big round of applause.
The theme of today's presentation is left to me, called human excellence. The concept of human excellence, concept of why we should have something like that to talk about, came actually when Gurudev, all his life, he talked about having excellence in people's life. Manushya ke jeevan mein utkrishtata hai. People should have better lives. And we were talking with the Indian Military Academy, and Indian Military Academy have got excellences in their themes. They have got their motto statement as the excellence. But the concept of excellence that they had and concept of excellence that we had were very different. So we thought of creating a presentation so that we can understand that what does it mean when enlightened souls, when divine beings, when great people like Gurudev, Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Maharshi Arvind, they are talking about the excellence. So the idea of this presentation is, one, to define what is human excellence. The idea of this presentation is to understand that we as human beings come to this planet with immense possibilities. And if we all can reach to the pinnacle of those possibilities, what we have is what we can call excellence. हमारे जीवन में जितनी भी संभावनाएं हैं, यदि हम उसको बिल्कुल पूर्ण रूप से साकार कर पाने की स्थिति में होते हैं, तो फिर हमारे पास जो निकल करके आता है उसको हम बोलते हैं उत्कृष्टता. That we call as the excellence. There is no reason for anyone to think that the idea of this presentation is to give you answers for your life. यहाँ बैठ करके, this is not a preaching podium. I am not here to give you answers to any questions. I am here to rather raise questions into your consciousness. The idea of this presentation is to think about the same thing, but thinking about them in different manner. The whole idea of going through different slides, whole idea of actually going through the definitions that how enlightened souls, how Mahapurush, how divine beings have defined human excellence is to understand that what as human beings we have got a possibility to live. Why we are on this planet? What can we do different to make our lives meaningful and make an impact on the life of other people? What we should really do? That is the whole idea of having this presentation. The second idea of this presentation is not to make you feel that this is a lecture, this is not a discourse. This is a dialogue. The idea of this presentation is that you as human being, I as human being, we all as human being should reconsider the direction of the life that has been offered to us. It's a great privilege to live a life of human being, but what can we do different to make it really meaningful? What can we do different to really make it constructive and productive? That is the idea of the excellence, and the presentation has got like a roller coaster journey. It has got the first few sections to go through the concept how great people, how divine souls have defined the concept of human excellence. And then compared to that definition, where do we find ourselves? What is different? Whether we are really achieving and acquiring what was expected from us. And then if we are not, then what path we can take to make our lives better. Simple as that. This is the presentation, and I am going to start by first quoting Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda, I am sure that everyone would know him in this room. Not only in this room, but everyone in US should know. This is the place where he started his journey. Divine personality who lived life not very long, but in that short period of time that was offered to him, he managed to make huge impact on the lives of many people. And he said many remarkable things, but this one I really like. He said, all the power in the universe is already ours. It is we who have put our hands before our eyes and cry that it is dark. सूरज उगा हुआ है, पर यदि हम अपने चेहरे को ढक लें, दूसरी तरफ मुंह करके खड़े हो जाएं, ऑस्ट्रिच की तरह से अपना सिर जमीन के अंदर डाल लें, and then claim that there is no rising sun, then whose fault is this? Everyone has been given the opportunity. Everyone has been offered a chance to make their life better. Everyone has been given an opportunity to make their life meaningful. Everyone has been given an opportunity to make lives of other people better. That is what has been offered to us. And that is what Swami Vivekananda said, that everyone has been given that power. And if we are facing the opposite direction, closing the window, closing the doors, and then claiming that it is dark, there is no sunlight, it's not a fault of the sun. It's a fault that we have created by ourselves. There is an interesting story that comes in Advaita Vedanta. Swami Vivekananda used to quote it very frequently, and he used to say that there was a lioness. Lioness was pregnant and she was in the forest. One hunter came, shot the lioness. Lioness died, but she gave birth to a lion cub. And lion cub, जो शेर का बच्चा था, he was looked after out of compassion by the deer herd. जो हिरण पास में रहते थे, उन्होंने शेर के बच्चे को पाल लिया. Slowly, that lion forgot that he was lion. He thought that I am like other deers, so they would run after the butterflies. He would run after the butterflies. They would do something else, and he would do the same thing. So he was just following the deer herds. जैसे बाकी हिरण करते वैसे वो भी करते. One day, a lion came, adult lion came. An adult lion roared. The moment he roared, all deers started to run. Along with the deers, that lion also started to run. So that adult lion got confused. He thought, why? Deers are running, that is fine, but why lion is running? So he forgot about the deers and he got hold of the lion. He said, why are you running? And that lion said, I'm a deer. He said, no, you are a lion. He said, no, I'm a deer. So that adult lion took him and he took him to the river nearby and showed him the face, that look who you are. And moment that lion looked the face in the water, he realized that he is the same lion like the other one. And the lion from inside came. And I think when divine people like Vivekananda, Gurudev, Maharishi Arvind, they come, one idea is to accomplish the vision that has been given to them by the divinity. Another idea is to show us that we are also lion. Another idea is to show us that there is no deer inside us. Another idea is to show that we have got the same possibility that Swami Vivekananda has got. If they can live that life, that we can also live that life. If there is a possibility for another human being to take that path, why cannot we take it? हमारे अंदर क्या कमी है जो हम नहीं कर सकते? So this is the message that Swami Vivekananda is trying to give, and that is where I think the common understanding of psychology and common understanding of spirituality are different. Because if you look from the popular model of the psychology, popular model of psychology thinks that human beings are nothing but better animals, that we are nothing but repressed sexuality. That's it. Freud thinks that this is what we are. हमारे अंदर हम साइकोलॉजी की दृष्टि से देखें, सोशल साइंसेस की दृष्टि से देखें, and I come from psychology background, that we think that human beings are nothing but a better animal, that we can think better, we can do things better, but at the end we have got the same functions like any other animal would have. Spirituality is different. Spirituality thinks that we are misdirected divine. There is a difference. It's the same spectrum. When you look at the diamond and there is a lump of coal lying next to it, you never think that lump of coal is also the diamond. It's just the end of the spectrum. It's the same thing. वही कोयला आगे चल करके हीरा बनेगा. That same coal would turn into diamond one day. But we never look from that perspective. We think that we are nothing. Nothing has been given to us. There is nothing. And that is what Swami Vivekananda said, that stand up and express the divinity within you. Because we cannot continue to live our lives by thinking that there is nothing that we have got. That we continue to make mistakes and thinking this is natural. This is natural to make mistakes because we are human beings. No. We have to reconsider the direction that we are taking at the moment. There is a story that comes in the Upanishad. The story comes of the Shwetaketu. Shwetaketu was the son of a sage called Aruni. And Shwetaketu graduated from a school very early, very knowledgeable and outstanding boy academically. So he got the degree early and he returned home. When he returned home, he was full of himself. He was so proud of himself that he got all the information. When his father saw him, he realized that his son needed to be taught a valuable lesson of the life. So his father asked Shwetaketu to come, and he said, now when you know everything about Bhagwan, सब भगवान के बारे में आपने पढ़ लिया, you know everything. Have you really felt Bhagwan? Have you really felt the divinity? And Shwetaketu was an honest man. He said, actually I mucked up all the information. I have memorized all the information, but I never felt divine. So Aruni said, okay, I will show you how to feel the divine. And Aruni got a glass of water and then he used some sugar cubes and mixed them inside. He said, where is the sugar? And Shwetaketu said, I cannot see the sugar, but I know it is inside. It is mixed inside. He said, how would you know that it is sugar is inside? And Shwetaketu said, I would taste the water. That's the only way to know, because you cannot say. And Aruni said, precisely. Divine is outside us like Vayu, air, inside us like Pran. Neither you can see the air nor you can see the Pran, but it is mixed up in the whole environment. And if you want to know the divine, you have to feel the divine. You need not the words. शब्दों की जरूरत नहीं है. You need to feel the divinity. You need to express divinity. You need to feel the divinity. And moment Shwetaketu heard that statement, he said, Aham Brahmasmi. I am that divine. And that is the message of this statement. The message of this statement is to feel that it is the same divine consciousness reflected in all of us. And if we can feel that divine element inside us, that not only the divinity from inside us would start expressing itself, but we find the right direction not only for us, but for many other people. And that tells us that as human beings, if you look that as human being, what is different? Human beings, the differences between us and the animal is that we have got a range of possibilities available. Animals do not have the possibility. Cow is grazing the same grass every day, never getting bored. It's the same thing. It's not going to do anything different. There is no other possibility for animals to live. They cannot think about living a life of Barack Obama or Martin Luther King or Mahatma Gandhi or Swami Vivekananda or Ramakrishna Paramahansa. They cannot. They do not have that choice available for them. But we have. We have got the choice available and we can take the direction of our life in whichever direction we would like to take to. Ravan comes from us, but Ram also comes from us. Kans comes from us, but then Krishna also comes from us. Angulimal comes, but then Buddha also comes from us. We have got both possibility to live. It depends that which possibility we choose to make our lives meaningful. And the one that we take becomes the definition of our life. The one we adopt, that this possibility I am going to take, becomes the definition that defines us. And that is the thing, that this is the moment. Like I said, this presentation is not there to give you any answer. The reason for this presentation is to make you think again. To actually reach to your consciousness that any moment is not the wrong moment. Even if at this moment we think that we can redefine our lives, even if at this moment we think that we can reconsider our life to make it a better one, then this is the time to start. And this is what Maharishi Arvind also said. I think this is a beautiful statement. He said, everyone has in him something divine, something his own, a chance of perfection and strength in however small sphere God offers him to take or refuse. The task is to find it, develop it and use it. This is what we can call excellence. In every single person, this is the beauty of it. After doing 32,000 years of tapasya, Vishwamitra has got a choice to follow. That is a choice. As human being he is God. And after committing 108 murders, Angulimal has got a chance to improve. This is also a chance that actually you get only as human being. That everyone, the message behind all these metaphorical stories is that everyone has got something divine inside. And if we can identify the divine inside us and nurture it, protect it, develop it, then what we got is excellence. Then we have got an opportunity to make our lives better. If you think about it, just think for a second that there is no repetition. There is only one of you who came. If God was satisfied or divine, whosoever was making us, he was satisfied by making Ramakrishna Paramhans, Param Puj Gurudev, Maharishi Arvind, Raman Maharshi, Swami Vivekananda. There was no need to create us. There was no need. Only the same people would be created again and again. Because if this is what the goal of this planet is. But we are created because everyone has got a divine possibility. And we may be standing at a different part of our journey, but if we can focus, if we can concentrate, if we can really give the determination and direction to our life, we can make not only our life better, but the lives of many other people better. That is what Gurudev said. The Gurudev, like everyone would know in this room, a groundbreaking scholar, wrote more than 3,200 books, great sadhana, divine being, inspiration for many people, founder of a huge organization called Gayatri Pariwar, with 110 million volunteers worldwide, 5,000 centers. The defining statement of his whole work throughout the life was this one: rise of divinity in man, manushya mein swarga, manushya mein devatva ka udaya aur dharti par swarga ka avtarana. Rise of divinity in man and descent of heaven on earth. He said everyone has got a divine potential within them, and if we all would start expressing the divinity inside, then we do not have to find another heaven. The heaven would come right here. 100 people are inside present in this room. Imagine that if 100 people would live life consensually, if all of us decide that no, we had enough, we're going to change the direction of our life, we're going to live our life with absolute right principles, right morals and right values, impact would be enormous. Impact would be so beautiful that there is no other heaven that we really need. We can have the heaven right here from this place. So this is how the enlightened souls, divine beings, great people have defined excellence. The idea of excellence, if I have been able to express it to you properly, the idea of excellence is that as human beings we come with range of possibilities. We come with the possibility to make our lives absolutely meaningless, or we can make our lives absolutely meaningful. Depends which one we take. But the pinnacle of this possibility, the summit of these possibilities is what we can call excellence. When we live our life with absolute perfection, when we live our life with dedication, commitment, compassion, purpose, direction, motive, agenda, then what we have got is what we can call excellence. However, when we look at the situation around us, we find something different. The challenges that we see as humanity or mankind at the moment are the one that are beyond belief. Like, if you look at the progress and development that we have done in last 2 centuries or so, So remarkable things have happened. Science and technology, we have done remarkable progress. We landed on the moon, we have done many things. There is no doubt about it. But at the same time, to have this external comfort and external achievement, we lost ourselves. आज whatever point we are standing, हम जहाँ पर भी हैं, वो पाने के लिए आदमी उतना ही अकेला हुआ है. As a psychiatrist, I see it every day that people, population of India has grown tremendously, but everyone is even more alone than before. There is no concept of individuality. The need for luxury is so strong that concept like nyaya, dharma, sadachar, satkar, they are not only rejected by the society, people would think they are comical, that who is going to live a life of conscientiousness. People would laugh at them. And as a result, we have got money, no satisfaction. Prosperity, no contentment. We have made huge houses to live in, but who is going to live in that house? Because we have broken down the concept of family. And not only family, we have broken down the concept of individuality. People are living a life and they have lived their life, but they are still unable to find the right direction, purpose and aim for their lives. This is very dark and gloomy situation that we have. And I have taken few examples just to present the challenges that as human being, as mankind we are facing at the moment. First is of course the environmental concern. We lived a life with a harmony with nature. There was a concept of harmony with the nature. But the moment we turn to the exploitation, we have made everything worse. This is a great statistics. Earth is 4.6 billion years old. Everyone thinks, scientists say that Earth is 4.6 billion years old. If we scale that to 46 years, यदि हम जितने समय में शुरू से लेकर अब तक रहे हैं, if we change it to 46 years, out of 46 years, we human beings, हम लोग have been here only for 4 hours. We 46 years life of the whole existence and we got 4 hours. Out of 4 hours, our industrial revolution began in 1 minute ago. Only 1 minute was offered to us to show that what can we do different. And what we did different was actually cutting down to 50% of the forest of the world. Beyond belief. Beyond belief. We were offered 1 minute, humankind, human beings were offered 1 minute to show to the universe what can we do different, and what we did was actually destroying more than 50% of world's forests. And as a result, you see the challenges that everywhere, the calamities and everything else that we are seeing all across the globe, they are practically because we started to play with the nature in a very dangerous manner. Then other challenge is this one, that progress, what we see is actually we have made the lives of people very restricted to the mobile phones and laptop and iPad. Just imagine for a second that your laptops have been stolen, your Facebook account has been hacked, and Twitter account does not exist anymore, and internet is gone. I'm very sure that the best job people would get would be the psychiatrist. You would have immediate people, coming to the psychiatric clinics with depression. Very, very sure. That it is so much anxiety people would have. It's just that our lives are so dependent on the technology at the moment, and the concept of family is gone. I'm not joking, but I know a family where this person, this boy, actually it's a teenager boy from London, and he lived in the same house with another boy, his cousin, for 2 weeks, and he did not know, because all the time he was playing games, all the time he was on the Facebook and he did not know that there is another new person living in the house. क्या कर दिया हम लोगों ने? It is just such a situation, and that is why I like this quote from Lothar Matthias, that things were created to be used and people were there to be loved. But we have made it different. सामान यूज करने के लिए था, लोग प्यार करने के लिए थे. हम सामानों को प्यार करते हैं, लोगों को यूज करते हैं. What is this? This is what we have created. That with endless objects, we have created endless expectations. That people have got so many expectations and nothing can be fulfilled. That there is so much endless pursuit of having the expectation in the life, and then you see this aggressive competition in each and every segment of the society. From education to business, office to home, people are just fighting to reach at some point. God knows what. my headache is bigger than your death. People are just trying to do whatever, even if they have to step on the dead body of other person to reach to a point, they would do it. It's just so much competition. I usually give the example, but I tell you, I'm sorry, I cannot see the half of the slides, I have to move a little. First day when we were joining the Hammersmith Hospital, Charing Cross Hospital, and Charing Cross Hospital is about like 12 minutes walk from Hammersmith Tube Station. 2004 it was. I came out and we came of course early. पहला दिन था job का, तो we all came early. So me and my friend, we were coming out of the tube. 8:20 it was. सुबह के 8:20 थे. It takes about 10 minutes to walk from tube station to the hospital. Moment I came out, my friend started to run. So I thought, what happened? Maybe he lost his wallet or something. So I started to run after him. यहाँ पर वो टिकट लगाते हैं, वहाँ पर पकड़ा. I got hold of him. I said, what happened? He said everyone was running, so I started to run. And it's actually real situation that you go to the London Tube and you see people are running for no reason. If you ask anyone, why are you running? Like, nothing is late, you still get there and you probably still would miss the tube anyways because they are delayed half of the time. But people are just running. There is so much competition, so much actually just people are running after certain things. But to reach to what point? What is the destination? What do we want to achieve in the life is the question. And then this great education system that we have created is remarkable. That we have like Albert Einstein said that everybody is genius. हर एक के अंदर कोई ना कोई प्रतिभा है. But if we judge the fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. हर एक के अंदर प्रतिभा है, पर हमने पैमाना ये तय कर दिया है. If we have created the measurement कि आप तभी अच्छे माने जाओगे जब आप पेड़ पे चढ़ के दिखाओगे, तो मछली तो बेवकूफ़ी समझेगी अपने को. मछली तो ही समझेगी कि मेरे होने का कोई मतलब ही नहीं है. And that is what we created. We created a model where only reaching to a certain point of education is what we consider to be the best. We think this is what you have to achieve to prove your worth. And you may have some great talent within you, but we never ask you to show the talent that you have. This is how the educational system has evolved. That it is only focused in giving you a degree, certificate, literacy and employment. How better you can write your name, that is the measurement of your success. That's it. But whether you become a better individual, whether you become a good human being is not what we are concerned about. We have created an industry and we are creating products in the name of the students, not human beings. You can ask anyone. Earlier days in India, the concept was that, imagine, there was Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, Valmiki, Sandipini, Shaunak, great sages. एक से बढ़कर एक ऋषि भारत के अंदर थे. But there were only 2 schools in India, Vasishtha and Vishwamitra. Because the cream of the society used to come for teaching. You have got money, आपके पास पैसा है, open the business. Do not come into the field of education. आपके पास पैसा है, आप education बताइए. आप education में only the person who used to come was who can live their life with principle. Now we have got opposite. If you have got money, first thing you should do is to open a university, open an education institution. That is the system that we have created. Is that, and then as a result, what we see is the society is in turmoil. Like people have got no direction in their lives. There is no real purpose that what people can achieve, and we have got all other problems that we see arising out of social distrust. People are scared to walk on the roads, that God knows who can come and step them at any time. It is such a bizarre situation that you can walk in the jungle and forest without much concerns, but you are walking on the streets of people inhabited like us, but people are so scared. I mean, what is the point of walking with a gun and pistol in your hand if you have to live along with other human beings? This is just so bizarre society that we have created. And this is the life that we have got, that people are running after certain things to achieve, and before they would know where they have reached, it's already ended. It's already ended. And thanks to Bansky, taken from London Graffiti wall, we buy things we don't need. With money we don't have to impress people we don't like. And this is so true. This is so true. कि people जो है वो सामान खरीद रहे हैं, क्यों खरीद रहे हैं नहीं पता, किसके लिए खरीद रहे हैं नहीं पता, पैसा है नहीं है, खरीदेंगे जरूर. So this is the thing. This is the life that we have created, that people are running after things that and This is how the life has become for most of the people. Not what we can call excellence. You know what we were talking about earlier, that how enlightened souls, how divine beings, how great people, they define excellence is to live your life with fullest, with full potential, with maximum potential, with great potential. And then the situation that we see is different. So what we really need, we need a holiday in Bavarian mountains, but we cannot get that at the moment. What we really need is a road to the new direction. What we really need is a direction in the life. What we really need is a right purpose in the life. And that is what Gurudev said, to have in the individuals, we can call it human excellence. When we have the same excellence in the society, we can call it excellence of the society. जब इंसान में निकल करके आएगा, because it is a thing of Hindi, you would understand it better. इंसान में निकल करके आएगा, हम इसे बोलेंगे उत्कर्ष, और जब समाज में निकल करके आएगा तो हम बोलेंगे उत्कृष्टता. That is what Gurudev said, and Gurudev said that there are 4 things if you have, then we can call that there is excellence in your life. Number 1, there should be a purpose. There should be a purpose. Why we are living this life? We cannot continue to live this life in autopilot mode. We cannot continue to live this life just like that. That okay, this has been offered to us, like everyone else is doing, I am going to do it. We need to think about what has been offered to us and what can we do different. That is purpose. Second thing is to then have the right attitude. When we have got the purpose, then to have right attitude to achieve the purpose that we think is the right for us. Then to have compassion, then to have this altruistic feeling to make the life of other people meaningful. Then to have commitment, then to have the dedication, then to have the real desperation to achieve it, is what all these things, and then what we get is called excellence. And we are going through them one by one. First one that Gurudev said was the purpose. When we talk about purpose, people usually think what is the purpose. Purpose is not what. Purpose is why. Why you are doing it is the purpose. Bhagat Singh gets hanged, but then a murderer also gets hanged. Why is different? Why is different? Why? Not the same act. Act is not like, okay, I went to the jail and other person went to the jail and he is getting the Paramveer Chakra, I am not getting the Paramveer Chakra. That is the difference. The freedom fighters, they also went to the prison. Reason was different. Why you are doing a thing is the thing that defines the purpose. So the question that we should really ask ourselves, that whether we have got a purpose. Question that is there for all of us to ask, that whether we are living our life just like that or no reason, or whether we have got a purpose. Because Gurudev said a very beautiful thing. He said purposeless person is like a pendulum which moves a lot but never reaches to a destination. So you'll see the people who are very busy, very occupied. They would get up very early in the morning, would sleep very late, fully occupied and hardly getting any rest or not doing anything. And then you stop them in the middle and ask what is the purpose in the life, and they would be very confused. What is the purpose? Why I am doing it is the question that all of us should ask. That whether we are doing it for a serious altruistic notion or whether we are just doing it because everyone else is doing it. That is the reason of the purpose. And usually when it comes down to purpose, people have got some excuses. They think I am too old to decide the purpose, or I am too young to decide the purpose, or I need better education, I need a PhD to decide the purpose. That's why purposely, I have got few examples here to define that or to rather support that to have purpose in the life, you do not really need to be too old or too young to decide. You can have the purpose at any moment in your life. And you do not need to have too much money, or you do not need to have too much education to have purpose in the life. And does anyone know who are these people in these photographs here? Alright, I shall take that as no. The person on the left hand side is James Harrison. James Harrison used to work as a labourer. He is the man from Australia. Australia से है, मजदूर की तरह काम करता था. He is the person who received the highest order of merit from the Australian government for a civilian. Why? He is the person who was called man with golden arm. When he was 13, he had a major accident. बहुत जबरदस्त accident हुआ. He underwent major chest operation and received 13 liters of blood. 13 लीटर खून उसको चढ़ाना पड़ा. He decided that the first thing that I would do, because blood saved my life, the moment I would turn 18, I would donate blood. पहली चीज जो मैं करूँगा, 18 is the legal age limit to give blood donation, and he said the first thing that I would do, moment I would turn 18, is to donate the blood. He became 18, went to the hospital to give the blood, and it was found that he had an unusual plasma combination that could treat rhesus disease. He decided to give blood as frequently as possible after knowing that. Laborer did not have much education, and he found the purpose to give donation of the blood. From the age of 18 up to now, when he is 77, 18 साल की उम्र से लेकर 77 साल की उम्र तक, that person gave 1,000 liters of blood, 1,000 liters of blood, saving lives of 2 million unborn babies. 2 million बच्चों की जिंदगी बचाने का काम एक अकेले आदमी ने किया, and he saved lives of so many because he found the purpose. Not educated much. He had limited in his capacity. Only thing he had, he thought of giving blood. You know, we sometimes think we have to create something huge. We need to plan this thing, we need to do that, we need to do that to have purpose. No. Whatever, limited in your capacity, if you decide to do it for right intention, you can make the impact on life of so many. 2 million babies. That person was able to influence. The boy sitting next to him is a boy, I think, not far from here, Illinois. That boy won some award, I think in some competition of $1,000. 8-year-old boy, what he would do with $1,000? $1,000 आया, क्या करेगा वो? He decided to give it to the daughter of the neighbor who was suffering from leukemia. He said, I am not going to take the money, I will give it to the girl. She was suffering from leukemia. When people heard this news, they thought, gosh, 8-year-old boy can think about something like that, and we are grown up, we are not doing something. Charity started to flow. Charity started to flow, and there was so much money, not only collected for that girl, but for so many other patients of similar condition. And it is just that you do not really need to be too old or too young to decide. Whenever you think and make a right decision, it can influence the life of so many people. Then we have got this lady sitting, and I will come back to the shlok that is there in a second. But the lady sitting over there, and I hope that most people would recognize her. She is a very well-known figure now, at least in India. Subhashini Mistry is her name. She is 73. Subhashini Mistry is a vegetable vendor from a very small village of India called Hasanpukur, not far from Calcutta. Calcutta, people know, the capital of the West Bengal. She is there. When she was 21, her husband, he died because he could not receive the medical treatment on time. And she became a widow at the age of 21. She had 4 children, illiterate women. कोई education नहीं थी, 4 children थे, सब्जी बेचने का काम करती थी गांव में इंडिया के. She had 4 children. Eldest one was 4.5 years old. The youngest one was 3 months old. Youngest one was 3 months old baby, and imagine that some women who never had any education, formal education, earning money in a small village of India and got 4 children to feed, and she is widowed. What life she had. But she decided that I am going to save every single penny that I would have to open a hospital in my village. She decided. 47 years. For 47 years she was saving every single penny that she had. She may have earned 5 paisa, 10 paisa, 15 paisa. She was saving 2 paisa, 1 paisa, 3 paisa, whatever little she could earn to save it so that she can open a hospital in her village. Think about it. 47 years. Her third son, Ajay, became a doctor, and he became a doctor, got MD from University of Calcutta, and he was offered a job, and rather than taking up the job, he decided to go back to the village. When he went to the village, the peers and colleagues, his friends, they thought we should go and check why, he left such a job. And when they went to the village, they started to cry. They thought, how can a woman who never had a formal education can live a life like that? For 47 years, she never bought a साड़ी for herself. अपने लिए कोई कपड़ा नहीं खरीदा, बच्चों के लिए कुछ नहीं खरीदा, घर में कोई बर्तन नहीं खरीदे. She never purchased anything for herself. She saved every single extra penny that she earned to open a hospital in the village. And they were crying. They thought, gosh, this could be a life too. And everyone thought, okay, we will donate the money. We will donate the money. And then they started to chip in the money. And 12 years ago, she opened a hospital in her village called Humanity Hospital. From poor for poor. That woman was illiterate and she single-handedly opened a hospital in her village in India, and that is a remarkable story. I think it's about purpose, that once you have got a purpose, she thought she had a purpose of opening a hospital because there was no better medical facilities available in the vicinity, and she managed to do it single-handedly, a woman with no formal education. So when we talk about education, it's not about age. It's not about how much finances you have. It's not about the education, how much education you have. Any time in your life, कभी भी आपके जीवन में आए, तो आप अपने जीवन को एक उद्देश्य दे पाने में सक्षम हैं. That is what the purpose really means. And then it's about giving the right attitude. It's about having the right commitment behind it. It's about, okay, we have got this thing, we have got the purpose, but whether we have got the right attitude for it, whether we think that this is the thing that we want to do. People decide the purpose in the morning, but then forget about later on. Afternoon purpose is gone. Morning purpose is there, by the afternoon it is gone. Next day it would be a different purpose. But think for a second that the lady for 47 years, 47 साल तक उसमें, she must have thought thousands of times whether I am doing the right thing or wrong thing. I am not saving anything for myself. I am saving everything to open a hospital in the village where people would never probably know my name. But she did it. It's the right attitude to do the things. क्या हम लोगों का दृष्टिकोण उसको करने के पीछे सही है कि नहीं? Whether we have got the right perception, right sense behind it. That is the question. This one I really like, or the Zinedine Zidane, I am sure that everyone would know, a French footballer who was in the World Cup final too. Controversial figure, but this one is actually a very likable statement. He said, I once cried because I had no shoes to play football with my friends. But one day I saw a man who had no feet and I realized how rich I am. एक दिन जो है मैं इसलिए रोया क्योंकि मेरे पास पहनने के लिए जूते नहीं थे. फुटबॉल खेलने के लिए मेरे पैर में जूते नहीं थे. और एक दिन मैंने एक ऐसे आदमी को देखा जिसके पैर नहीं थे, तो मुझे पता चला कि इतना अमीर हूँ मैं. It depends upon the attitude. It depends upon how you perceive the things. कभी कभी हम लोगों को लगता है कि भगवान ने हमको ये और दिया होता तो काश हम लोग कुछ अच्छा कर लेते. उस समय में उन लोगों के बारे में भी सोच लेना अच्छा होता है जिनको भगवान ने वो सब नहीं दिया होता. पर जब उनको देखते हैं, we get the right attitude. जब उनको देखते हैं तो who are not so privileged enough to receive all that, then we know that how better we are. And that is precisely what Lao Tzu said, that if you realize that you have enough, you are truly rich. यदि आपको ये पता चल जाए कि आपको भगवान ने क्या दे करके भेजा है, आप उसी क्षण अमीर हो जाते हैं. You do not need extra moment to do it. You are rich enough in that particular moment, in that particular time. When Alexander the Great, he came to India, he was asked by his master to bring one yogi from India. Alexander सिकंदर जब आया भारत, तो उसके गुरु ने कहा कि भारत से एक योगी को लेकर के आना. He found one person. He was sitting in a state of meditation. एक आदमी उसे मिला, बैठा हुआ था, ध्यान कर रहा था. लोगों ने कहा कि बहुत योगी हैं, आप इनको ले जाइए. तो Alexander approached him. Alexander said that you need to come with me. And he said, I will come with you, but who are you? आप कौन हो? So Alexander was amused. He thought, this person does not know I am Alexander the Great. He said, I am Alexander the Great. He said, what did you do to be called great? He said, I conquered half of the world and I am going to conquer the rest of it. So he said, okay, very good. What are you going to do when you have conquered the rest of the world? Alexander said, I will make a huge mansion like no one has ever seen. इतना बढ़िया सुंदर बनाऊंगा जो किसी ने नहीं देखा होगा. Okay, very good. And then what you would do? He said, then I would have all the ratna, javaharat, the precious stones, diamonds and everything else. He said, okay, very good. And then what you would do? He said, then I would have lots of slaves and all other people. He said, very good. Imagine that you have done all of that. What you would do then? तब क्या करोगे? सब कुछ हो गया, आपने किला भी बना लिया, रत्न जवाहरात भी रख ली, तब क्या करोगे? Like I said, what kind of question is that? I would do nothing. I would sit and enjoy, just relax. Yogi said, why do you have to conquer half of the world to do it? I am doing that right now. इतना सब करने की आवश्यकता क्या है? You can just, you to find the contentment in the life. जीवन में संतोष होने के लिए do not have to run too much to do it. The moment we realize that we have got enough, we become rich in that particular moment. Then there is no other race left. And the race changes from that side of the world to inside of the world. Then it just becomes contentment. Wherever you are, you feel absolutely blissed. Then comes the question of compassion. Then comes the question of compassion, that we are talking about excellence. That if we have got the right purpose, if we have got the right attitude for it, but then the purpose and attitude is there with compassion. Purpose and attitude is there to live life for other people, is then we start to have the right direction in the life. And there are two nice examples for everyone to see. Does anyone recognize these photographs? Actually, in this age of technology, I thought that people would, because these photographs have gone absolutely viral in last 3 months, I would say. They are not very old. The boy on the left hand side is from Malaysia. The boy on the left hand side is the boy from Malaysia. He is a 17-month-old boy. 17-month-old boy, and he was born blind, could not see both of the eyes. And parents decided each to donate one eye. Both of them decided कि हम एक आँख दे देंगे. Even if we would not be able to see, no problem. At least our child would see the world. Where else? Where else you would find such sort of feeling? Only in human beings. Only in human beings you find. Or not only in human beings, I would say, only the concept of humanity would define such a thing. That what really makes us unique is this feeling of sharing pain of other people. Earthquake hits 2,000 miles from here, and people start opening their heart, their paisa, their anaj, their kapade, everything people start to give. And this person you have never met in your life. This person you would probably never meet in your life, but people are ready to give whatever they have for other people if they think that they are in sorrow and pain. This sort of thing makes us unique. The compassion, the humanity, that is what actually makes us unique. And there is a very nice example on the right hand side too. This is a photograph from Bangalore, Padmanabh temple. These two blind men, they were struggling to open the tap, water tap. And female monkey was seeing it from upstairs. 10 minutes she watched, and then she came to help the blind people so that they can get the water. बंदर आया ऊपर से पानी खोल करके अन्नों के लिए और फिर चला गया. That is such a thing. That is the thing of compassion. Even animals have got it. If animals have got it, why cannot we have it? What is the thing different? That if they have got this ability to make the life of other person who is suffering a better one, then at least we are better than the animals. At least we have got better opportunities. And that is the message really of the excellence, that we should have right purpose, right attitude, live a life of compassion, live a life of sharing the pain of other people. Imagine, Gurudev used to give a mathematical figure that if every person would make the life of 5 people better in 3 months, यदि आप हमें से हर कोई डिसाइड कर ले कि हम 5 लोगों का जीवन अच्छा बनाएंगे 3 महीने में, in 6 months 25, 9 months 125, 12 months 625, 3 years and 9 months every single person on the planet. हर व्यक्ति यदि दूसरे को फॉरवर्ड करता चला जाए, every person is making life of 5 people better, and those 5 people are making 5 other people's life better. The equation is such that in 3 years and 9 months every single person on the planet has been touched by an act of compassion. ज़्यादा करने की आवश्यकता भी नहीं. 5 लोगों के लिए 3 महीने के अंदर हेल्प करने की आवश्यकता है. And that gives us the direction. Now, the last thing that comes is of the commitment. That whenever the question of commitment comes, usually there are excuses first. That people say, okay, we will do it, but let him do first. पहले वो करेगा, फिर हम लोग करेंगे. or I haven't got this thing. Maybe if I had this, or God has not given me this thing. If I had that, then I may have done these things different. He has got more money, he's got better education, he's got that. Purposely, when it comes down to commitment, I have taken few examples which show that for commitment it is not necessary for us to have everything. Whatever limited we have got, even if we are committed enough, we can still make the difference in the life of many people. This photograph is of Terry Fox, everyone knows, he is from Canada. The person lived not long enough. He lived only up to the age of 23. In fact, he died literally a month before his 23rd birthday. 23 साल से पहले death हो गई. He was diagnosed with osteosarcoma and he had this prosthetic limb, artificial limb on the right side. Rather than in that stage thinking about that I should think about ending my life, cancer tha, terminal cancer tha, he had one prosthetic limb, and rather than thinking that I have got nothing much to do, he decided that I would collect the money for many people who cannot afford their treatment. And that person started to run with one prosthetic limb and one leg. 173 days he ran, covering 5,373 kilometers. Imagine, 5,373 kilometers. I'm not good in the miles, but I think maybe it's 3,500 miles or something. He ran for 173 days and eventually died actually on road. Remarkable story. That person had only one leg, but he was so committed to make the life of other people better. Whole the cancer research of US and UK, they got $80 million of charity fund because of that person's run. Just beyond belief, that person without having much was able to influence life of so many people. Now, but then there is a video clip for you to see, to realize that there are people who are not in similar condition but still making their life.
My name is Jessica Cox and I live in Tucson, Arizona. I'm a motivational speaker. I've traveled to 17 different countries. My situation of being born without arms requires a lot of creativity. I would see all the kids around me climbing up the monkey bars or climbing up the slide, and for me I felt somewhat frustrated because I was prevented from that. I wanted to run up and climb up that slide just like all the other kids. At times I would vision flying over the playground and being Superwoman. I realized that I needed to adapt to the way everyone else did things, and it wasn't about catering to my needs or my special situation, but it was more about me adapting and being creative and coming up with ways of using my feet or using other methods to become independent. Put my pants onto the hook, then I just step into the pants like this, and I wiggle my way into my pants. I've heard the saying a number of times that, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% of how you respond to it. So that's why I fell in love with psychology. Psychology fascinated me in that sense that it really did credit a lot to how we thought. It was a 3-year process to become a pilot. I had to find a specific airplane, and it has 2 less controls than most standard airplanes, and so therefore I can actually keep my right foot on the yoke, my left foot on the throttle. The most incredible, most empowering experience I've ever had. It's that feeling of being free, of being, in the sky, and just that incredible feeling of being up there. What I enjoy is not really knowing where I'm going to be next. In the next 4 months, I'm going to be in 4 different countries.
And I remember promising myself I would never again wear those fake, heavy, prosthetic arms.
Here's our flight.
We will go out to the different areas of Ethiopia, visit with the families of children with disabilities, and help them overcome their own difference as well, and bring that confidence that I had to develop over the years and help share that with them. The achievement that I am most proud of, I think, is maturing from someone who was angry and upset about being differently able to being someone who was different, to now being able to celebrate that and use it as an opportunity to give hope and inspiration to other people.
Swami, just wait for a second. The first example was of Terry, who had at least one leg. Then we have Jessica, who did not have two arms, but is still graduated from Harvard, doing masters in psychology. Still is an armless pilot है, plane चलाती है, and also black belt in karate. You know, just imagine that she does not have two arms, and there are people who would not do anything in spite of having all four limbs. You know, there are people who are doing things when even if there was nothing given to them in terms of the upper limbs. She had at least two legs. There are people who even had that privilege, did not have that privilege, and that's the last that we would show.
I wasn't ready.
I have no arms and no legs, but I'm very thankful that I have my little chicken drumstick here. People freak out when they see me for the first time. It's so cool. I was at a water slide all by myself. Everyone obviously at the bottom of the slide is looking up and waiting for other people to come down, and here I come and they're freaking out. They're like, you know, like this. And I was so tempted to look at myself and go, what happened? You know? There were times where I sort of looked at my life and thinking, well, I can't do this and I can't do that. And you keep on concentrating on the things that you wish you had or the things that you wish you didn't have. And you sort of forget what you do have. And there's no point, I believe, in my life where I wish I had arms and legs, I wish I had arms and legs, I wish I had arms and legs, because wishing won't help. But what I've seen in life are just a couple key principles, and the first thing that I've seen is to be thankful. It's hard to be thankful, man. I tell you, when I was 8 years old, I sort of summed up my life and thought, I'm never going to get married. I'm not going to have a job. I'm not going to have a life of purpose. What kind of a husband am I going to be if I can't even hold my wife's hand? It's a lie to think that you're not good enough. It's a lie to think that you're not worth anything. Oh boy. Woo! It's freezing, I can't feel my hands. I love life. You know, so many people come and say, how come you smile so much? And I'm like, well, it's a long story. But it's very simple at the same time. You see, it's very hard to smile sometimes in life. There are things that happen that you don't know and you don't understand, and you don't know if you're going to get through it. You know, you go through your storms in life and you don't know how long this storm's going to be. And today I want to share with you some principles that I've learned in my life that you can use in yours. Being patient is beautiful. I tell you, it's the hardest thing. But I realize I may not have hands to hold my wife's hand, but when the time comes, I'll be able to hold her heart. I don't need hands to hold her heart. You know, it is scary to know how many girls have eating disorders. It is scary to know how many people are just angry at life because of their situation at home and angry at others. It's scary to know how many people actually feel like they're worth nothing. Every single girl right here, right now, I want you to know that you are beautiful. You are gorgeous just the way you are. And you boys, you're the man. On this DVD, I share my experiences in life of how I've overcome challenges and seen a new, fresh perspective in life. To be thankful, to dream big, and to never give up. I speak to children, youth, and adults about key issues and principles that I've applied in my life that has given me the strength to conquer all that comes before me.
The reason actually to show those clips to you was very clear. Reason to show those clips to you was that if we are thinking about excellence, there are no excuses. If we are committed enough to find a purpose in our life, यदि हमारे अंदर ये संकल्प आ गया है कि हमको किसी अच्छे पथ पर चलना है, then there should not be enough excuses in the life. You know, there are people who are not so privileged enough to live, to have all the things that we have got, but still they manage to make the impact on the life of many people. You know, there are people without limbs, there are people without formal education, there are people without money, there are people too young, there are people too old, but they found the purpose in their life. Then there is nothing that should stop us to have purpose in our life. And Gurudev said that when you have got that, then you should think about that if you have got right purpose, right attitude, you are living with compassion, with commitment, and the thing you should really think is that your ability to contemplate, आपका जो चिंतन है, आपके जो प्रयास हैं, आपकी जो भावनाएं हैं, they should go for सृजनात्मक प्रयोजन, they should go for constructive purpose, not for the destruction of the society. There are people who have got ability to influence life of many people. ऐसे लोग हैं जो ऊंचाइयों पर बैठे हैं, but they are rather than helping it other people, they are just doing it wrong way. You know, Sanjay ji was here and he was saying a very good thing. You know, 2008, he said that the market that crashed down was not because of the people, who were idiots. They were the people who graduated from top universities. They were the people who were really learned. They were intelligent people, just not had the right feeling. They did not have the right attitude to live for the society. And that's what Gurudev said, that he said, destruction is easy. Anyone can do it. You know, to destroy certain thing, you do not need a qualification. You know, you are walking on the street, someone would stab you, but he would not need a certificate from a medical college to stab you. You know, he can do it randomly, any person. किसी को छुरा भोंकने के लिए आपको कोई सर्टिफिकेट की आवश्यकता नहीं है. But to repair that wound, then you need a degree. Then you need at least 8 years of graduation, MBBS and MS, to correct the damage that has been created. So to destroy certain thing, no problem. But to create something meaningful, to have something really beautiful in the life, you really have to work hard. And that is what Gurudev said. And if we have got all that, if we have got the right purpose in the life, we have got right attitude, if we are committed enough to make the lives of other people meaningful, compassionate enough, and we are living it for the constructive purposes, then what we get is the excellence. And what we get is the life of the great people. Great people. The question comes, I think we have got very short amount of time, so I will go a little faster than usual. Then Gurudev said that how one can have the excellence in the life, and he gave two things, one for the individual, one for the society. For the individual, he said simple three things are needed: Upasana, Sadhana, Aradhana. What does it mean? Upu means close, asana means to sit. To sit close to whom? To sit close to the divine feelings, to have right principles in the life, to have the nishpaksha atmasamiksha, which means the honest introspection. Always think whether I am on the right path, always think whether I am doing the right thing, always think whether we are on the right direction. To have that feeling, to imbibe the great qualities within, to imbibe the great qualities inside is what Gurudev called as the Upasana, to have that relationship with the divinity. Sadhana means to give anushashan, to discipline your life. You know, Gurudev said 4 types of sadhana: Indriya Sanyam, Artha Samyam, Samay Sanyam, Vichar Sanyam. Use your intelligence for the right purpose. Use your money for the right reason. That if you think that the amount of money that I am wasting, other person's house could be feeded, there is no point to waste that much amount of money. If we can live our life with certain things, then we can of course provide the right direction to other people. It's to give the discipline to our lives. And then using all that for the selfless service to the society. He said if we have got those principles, if we are trying to imbibe great qualities within inside, all the things that we talked about earlier, disciplining our life for the right purpose. Not only one day we get very excited and we think about good things, but then 3 days later everything is forgotten and then we are unable to maintain that. But then having that sadhana, having that discipline, and then using that for selfless service to the society. That is what he called for the individual excellence. And for the society, he said ekta, samata, shuchita and mamta. Ekta means unity. That at the moment, there is this sort of feeling that we create boundaries for no reason. We were, I think January this year, I was in Rajasthan giving a program. And we went to see the border between India and Pakistan. And it's a place to see. Like, there are people with so many heavy artillery sitting on both sides and a different sort of feeling, Then we saw 2 big shades on both sides of the border. He said, what is that for? So the commandant who was giving us the tour, he said, they are for the animals. So I asked that, what sort of animals? He said, for animals don't know the border, they come and cross at any time. It's not a border for them, it's for human beings. Because animals, they cross at any time. It's just a bizarre sort of thing that we have created. Animals cross and then they have to lock them here and then we push them back. That is Pakistan's animals, these are India's animals. What is that? It's just that we have to think about living together for a right cause. Unity should be there. Ekta, samata, equality. Gurudev talked about that having equality, and equality does not mean bringing one to another. Equality is having inside feeling that we all are of equal potential and capacities, to have that feeling of equal nature, and then to have compassion and then to have piousness is what he called the principles for social transformation, social excellence of society. And this one is from the 3rd book that he, before they departed. This is from that one, and I really like that statement, that's why I have placed it here. Naya yug aa raha hai. New era is approaching fast. No one would be able to stop it. No one would be able to stop it. The time has come when the great foundations of ancient times shall be re-established. Mahakal is making all the necessary arrangements for that purpose. Transformation of the era is inevitable. My short life was to make this announcement only. The purpose with which I was sent is about to be accomplished. Rest shall be completed by Mahakal himself. He would inspire many gifted and extraordinary souls with excellence to come forth for this task. They would work around founding principles of unity, harmony, compassion and piousness to bring heaven on earth. And I really hope that those people are sitting in this room. I really hope that someone would get the inspiration to make the life of other people meaningful. The idea of this presentation, like I said, was not to waste 1 hour of your life and 1 hour of our time here. The idea of this presentation was to really give you a purpose in the life, to give you a real meaning where you can change the life of yourself and other people. And this is the place where we all came from, Shanti Kunj Haridwar, to give you a little understanding and perspective. That is the headquarter of the all world Gayatri Pariwar, a moderately large organization. The place is unique in the sense of this photograph is a little old, it's from 1986. Only there for nostalgic purposes, because now everything is changed. Place is unique in the sense that there are 500-acre campus, 25,000 people can live in there, but there is no concept of taking any money. The whole organization works absolutely free, without taking. All of you are invited with open heart, greatest affection and respect, and people who live there, they know that the moment you enter inside the Shanti Kunj, like Dr. Hall said at many times, that money is out of the question, and that actually makes you think again that what is this? Like, all of a sudden no one is asking about any money and the whole concept of money is gone. And this is based on a very interesting concept that Gurudev said Anshadan, that all members of the society, they should give 10 paisa a day. 10 paisa a day is 3 rupees a month. 3 rupees a month is negligible amount of money, not heavy for anyone. But when 110 million people they give, it runs the organization, not only this one but other 5,000 centers of the organization for absolutely free. And idea is to live with compassion with other people. Idea is to share with other people. Idea is not to make it a business. And the second thing that unique you would find is the concept of Samadhan. that Gurudev, all the human resources of the organization, 25,000 people are living there, how everything is being managed, is simple principle that you should continue doing what you are doing, but give 1 hour free for the society. जो आप कर रहे हो करते रहो, 1 घंटा समाज के लिए निकाल लो, बस इससे ज़्यादा और कुछ नहीं करना. एक हफ्ते में 1 दिन निकाल लो, 1 दिन में 1 घंटा निकाल लो, whatever is right for you, do that. That is the concept he had, and the whole organization continued to grow. Millions and millions of people it is reaching to with that idea. This is the second center. There are 3 centers in Haridwar in the headquarters. One is the ashram Shantiman that you saw. Brahmavarcha Shodha Sansthan is the second one. Where Gurudev talked about having scientific spirituality center. He had a simple concept that science without spirituality becomes destructive. You have got atom, either you make energy or you make a bomb. Choice lies with you. कि परमाणु है, आप ऊर्जा पैदा कर लो या बम बना लो, depends upon you. And spirituality without science becomes superstition. That people are doing things but they have got no idea why they are doing it. So he said both needs to work together to provide something meaningful for the future. And with that understanding, this research center has been established, and we shall leave some of the literature for people to read, because there is a very nice research journal that comes from there, and regular articles being published from worldwide. It's called Deva Sanskriti International Journal, focused on the concept of scientific spirituality. Then Deva Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya. Deva Sanskriti University is about 12 years old now, first state private university of the state of Uttarakhand. And Gurudev said that education is only providing us the literacy and employment, not necessarily the values. That people are going to university, but it is not guaranteed that they would return being a better individual. So with that idea to provide a comprehensive training to the students, Vishwavidyalaya was established, and it's a unique place for all of you to visit. It's fully residential campus, and there is no concept of taking any tuition fee from the students. So the students that are taken are those students who are academically worth, but they are unable to maintain their finances. And these students, they come because society is contributing for their education. They subsidize education. And all these students who are receiving subsidized education, because there is no tuition fee, meals are free, although they have to pay for the accommodation, but much lesser than any other academic institution. All of them, they do 2-month social internship. They work free for the society before they get their certificates. So this is a unique place for all of you to come. 1,500 students now we take in one academic year, and 59 courses are being run, and variety of courses. We are probably the largest in India to offer course in yoga and Ayurvedic health. Then we have got School of Psychology, School of Education, School of Journalism, Mass Communication, Animation, Environmental Sciences, Computer Science, Technology, Rural Management, Education. There are a variety of courses being offered by the Vishwavidyalaya, and you should excuse my faster pace. I'm concerned about the time because we have got limited time available now. This is the Vishwavidyalaya, and now down to the few last slides that actually would take us back to the concept that we were discussing. Gurudev said that these days the fate of humanity is being rewritten on a new paper with a new ink from a new point of view. This is the right time to decide that where you would wish to belong when this period of upheaval has ended. Later on, one could only force themselves to accept the left out places. Yes, this is the time to decide. This is the time to decide that whether we really want to make a meaningful change in the life of other people, whether we really want to make a constructive change in the life of other people. Like Einstein said, that the world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. ये दुनिया केवल उनकी वजह से बुरी नहीं है जो कि बुरे हैं, उनकी वजह से भी है जो सब कुछ देखते हुए चुप बैठे रहते हैं. So let us stop what we don't think is right. यदि हम लोग सब मिलकर के प्रयास करें, if we all get united to make it a better place, there is nothing stopping it. It's our world. We should make effort to change it. Last slide really. This question, why are we here? हम लोग यहाँ क्यों हैं? Was asked to Horatius. Horatius was a Roman soldier who single-handedly stopped army of Clusium to come to the Rome. अकेला सैनिक था जो 5000 सैनिकों के सामने खड़ा रहा. रोम के अंदर सेना आ रही थी, उससे लड़ने के लिए अकेला खड़ा रहा. उसके साथ जो उसके 2 सहयोगी थे, they both died. And one, before dying, asked him the question, why are we here? सब कोई भाग गए, everyone has left, हर कोई छोड़ के चला गया, हर कोई कह रहा है कि गलत काम है. Why are we here? Why are we still here? Why are we taking all the bad things at our end? And Horatius replied, then out spoke brave Horatius, the captain of the gate. Horatius ने कहा, to every man upon this earth, death comes sooner or late. हर व्यक्ति के पास मौत आती है, आज नहीं तो कल आएगी. And how can man die better than facing fearful odds? इसके अलावा मरने का इससे बढ़िया तरीका और क्या हो सकता है? For the ashes of his fathers and the temples of his gods, to make a meaningful change in the society. We all are not going to live here for eternity. Whatever time has been offered to us, we can make it meaningful. We can make it really worth, not only for us but for everyone else. That is the message of this presentation, and I hope that you enjoyed it.